A spectacular performance. Curry from half court.
Sometimes, something looks like it's been there a while.
We are here, the Three Mornings Podcast. We are recording a second episode back to back because we just recorded a whole 25-minute
episode on our
episode.
Patreon.
Yeah, first episode on our Patreon that hopefully
$20 tier.
that we definitely didn't assume was recording and we didn't record. So, we are back, second try, second take. We spent 25 minutes of our time for you guys. So leave a like in the comment section down below if you appreciate our efforts. Anyway, so kind of what we talked about in our first attempt of this episode. We are going to be highlighting what the Warriors have been doing, what we're looking like. We are currently 9-9 for the season, 508th seed, looking mid as ever. Not super great, not super bad. Having some nights, as Thomas mentioned in our first attempt, that were like, how do we escape with the win? Otherwise, if not that, just what the hell is going on the court? So, we've been inconsistent a little bit with our last episode. I think we missed a weekend or two. We apologize. We're going to be more consistent back at it. Thomas, would you like to take your point of attack defense point? Yeah,
Absolutely. I'm getting a little bit of deja vu. So this is a segment that I had pre-prepared before our first episode, and now I already got to do got a little practice, got a little run through of it. Last episode I had mentioned.
Not last episode, first take.
No, because last that was So even two episodes ago, from our perspective, I had mentioned that the Warriors were giving up a lot of big nights to perimeter scorers, including some perimeter scorers like, for example, Ryan Rollins, who you would not expect to give up a big night to. Now, the last game the Warriors played, they gave up 20 points to Caleb Love. As I already mentioned in our first attempt, this is a guy who basically is an undrafted, he's a fringe guy. I mean, he's an undrafted player. The majority of the NBA draft community said that he was not athletic enough, not skilled enough to really make it in the NBA. He's like 24 years old as a rookie, played like 6 seasons in North Carolina. I mean, no disrespect to him, but this is, in NBA terms, this is a nobody. And he put up 20 on efficient shooting. Jose Alvarado, 18 points a few games ago on efficient shooting. Norman Powell torched us. What's his face? Desmond Bane torched us. 23 isn't exactly torching us, but still, a lot of open shots. I did watch that game. A lot of open shots for him. And all these guys, it is a lot of open shots. That's the other thing, I guess, maybe when I did my first run through, I didn't also mention, like, these guys are getting open shots. They're getting good looks against the Warriors perimeter defense. Well, it's probably a combination of, like, we're giving them space to, like, prepare for the drive, or just not getting back.
Yeah.
Time, so.
And
I also think a lot of it is just that our guy, like, we can't follow, like, guys like Pods, guys like Moody, et cetera, et cetera. They can't follow guys around screens effectively. They can't rotate effectively. And then some of it is just they're getting cooked in ISO situations one-on-one, and the guys are getting good looks off of that. But yeah, it's frustrating to see kind of happen, like, night in, night out, where you can basically guarantee that, one of their guards is going to go for like 24 or 25.
And we mentioned after this, then, like, okay, what can we boil down the issue to, right? If we look at our point of attack defense, we got GP2, who's kind of washed up at this point. We got Pods, who's an okay-ish defender, not super great. We got Moody, who is, in my opinion, slightly better than Pods, lankier, a little bit longer arms, et cetera, et cetera. We got Steph, who's not a great point of attack defender. And am I missing anyone else?
Jimmy is good.
Jimmy is good for sure, but he's not really on these point guards, these small guys. He's kind of on the wing.
Yeah.
Or in, like, the paint.
Well, I also think, like, if you have a guy that's a poor point of attack defender who's providing nothing on offense, it's like you're a black hole. Like,
and do we mention Buddy, by the way?
Oh, no, we didn't.
Yeah, I mean, that's
as well, right?
Because he really is. That's public enemy number one when it comes to this. Like, he is the prime suspect. He is awful, like, really awful defensively. Not that we didn't see it last year, but it's especially this year when yet again he's having another one of these super cold stretches. It becomes really glaringly obvious how little he provides on defense. So,
and it really, besides then even the point of attack defense, what I mentioned in our first take, don't sue us. We really don't have much different than the portion when Butler joined us last season. But what's changed? And I think, we kind of really deduce that it's just like that guys from, like, number 5 to 15 on our roster are just bad. They're just not good players. We talked about Pods, how Pods is really giving And Thomas, I don't steal or thunder. You gave an elite analogy.
I said it's starting to look like a Taylor Horton Tucker situation where essentially a guy he comes in, flashes a little bit, he's young enough that everybody talks about potential, etc., what he's going to do in 5 years. But the more that you kind of see him play, teams start to realize that he has some very obvious weaknesses, and Warriors fans know about Pod's weaknesses all too well. You can talk about the streaky shooting, you can talk about
Unathletic.
the lack of athleticism, lack of size, the occasionally sloppy ball handling,
Like a self-creation.
the lack of self-creation, the
What
fact
does
that
he provide?
the fact that he thinks he's a better creator than he is and tries ridiculous one-legged fade. He doesn't have the worst shot selection all time, but it's just you had another problem to throw onto the pile. That every so often he does have these weird possessions where he's like, all right, this is my possession. I'm gonna back the guy down and like go like triple spin move like into a one leg. It's like, come on, man, you're not hot because he's never hot, and yet he's still trying these like goofy, awkward. I mean, Warriors fans know if you're watching the games. And the thing that happened with Taylor Horton Tucker is once teams started to realize these weaknesses, he became essentially unplayable and he bounced around until he was out of the league. And I think that might be what happens with Paz. Although, like I just made last time we recorded the comment I made, not if Kerr has his way, because according to Kerr, he is a valuable rotation player who needs to get 30 minutes a game. Otherwise, the Warriors' system is going to fall apart or something like that. I don't know. I don't really know what Kerr sees that everybody else doesn't. Not that we haven't said that about 100 players 100 times.
And then Wes, you kind of take the segment talking about the stat that Thomas sent last
the
night.
three.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess we still have like the big three is still like as effective as ever, but it just seems like the players around them, like when they're not on the court, when Jimmy or Steph are not there to carry the offense, do something offensively, like Thomas and Hassan kind of said, you kind of get possessions where Pods takes the lead and it's just kind of ugly. Not that we don't have good offensive players outside of those two. Like QP, I think QP is a good offensive player. It's just he obviously doesn't have the self-creation. I think self-creation is something we really lack outside of those two. Like I don't really trust anybody else to go get us a bucket, even though we're forced into that position sometimes. And also like bring the ball to the floor. I noticed like it's just like GP2 or Pods. Even when Steph is on the floor, when he's playing off ball, he's just not as effective off ball. When the point of it, when the guy who has the ball is not a threat at all, like you can really just key in on Steph off ball, and that's kind of limits how effective he can be. He is still great, but that's kind of one of his big punches is his off ball movement, and it's not as effective when the defense is guarding GP2 or Pods with the ball.
Yeah.
So
I mean that's one of the things. Like you need guys who
Buddy.
can occasionally. Oh my God, Buddy, those fadeaways that Buddy has started, their step backs that he started taking when like there's nothing else going on. Not that I necessarily like I get it because oftentimes it's coming down to 2 or 3 seconds in the shot clock and he has the ball and I understand what else are you going to do. You're a shooter, you're going to try a step back, but goddamn, I don't think I've ever seen one of them go in. It's driving me crazy. But the other thing I was going to say is like you need guys who can occasionally draw a double just based on their self creation alone, who can beat a guy in forced rotation. And like you were saying, outside of Steph and Jimmy. Who is that guy? It's nobody, essentially.
yeah,
Maybe it's Kuminga
I don't even think so. Like
if he's on the court 1 out of every 5 possessions when he makes a decent move instead of driving, going shoulder down right into a defender. I don't know. It's a rough situation, all things considered. I guess the one thing we maybe didn't talk about when we first recorded was the possibility, like the more specifics, like the possibility of a trade, like we mentioned, like obviously you need to give away
Kuminga
and Pods at this point. You need to try to find a way to give them to get rid of them somehow. Like how many picks would you guys be comfortable attaching to a potential trade? Like, do you think it's time to
get Trey Murphy?
like all of them?
For who?
That's what I'm saying. Do you think
Like,
are you comfortable with saying
yes.
the future is like
Yeah,
F the future,
yeah,
'cause
yeah.
it's
I mean, at this
family-friendly-
point,
family-friendly pod, but F the future. Every pick is on the table.
yes, at this
Yeah.
point, I mean, it has to be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when are we going to be in a position we are right now? I mean, you
Exactly.
guys convinced me. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
If we
That's-
remember,
that's right.
like 2 years ago, when I would be like, no, we be conservative. We have Pods. We have GB2. We have, no, sorry, not GB2. We have JP. We have James Wiseman. I don't know. I think at that point he was washed, but we got
Yeah.
Kuminga, Moody, Pods, Trace, freaking GP. Sorry, JP. But now it's like, okay, when are we going to have Steph? When are we going to have
Jimmy,
the greatest point guard of all time? When are we going to have the greatest defender of all time, or top 3 at least? When are we going to have one of the greatest players of all times in Jimmy Butler? Not often. So I'm all in for the now.
Yeah, and I
throw
agree
him all in
100%.
for Trey
Throw him-
Murphy.
I don't know
Trey Murphy. So again,
all
so
in for Trey Murphy. I don't know how I feel about that.
Trey Murphy is the thing with Trey Murphy is like
do they want to trade? I think we already had this discussion. Obviously, the Pelicans suck, but the kind of the it's kind of a weird situation because they now have two rookies who are both like I think third and fourth ranked in
Derek
the voting
Queen.
right now. Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears. They both look like standouts. So now you're thinking maybe do the Pelicans think well this year is a wash, but we can retool and build around this core.
Yeah, but then you
And then
take
they're
our
not.
picks. Like
Yeah, but like is in retool, not as in like
Incremental.
full rebuild, but because like okay, well if you maybe if we resign Zion and then you have
What? Why would
wait a second.
I'm not even a Pelicans fan and I'm freaking stressed.
Wait a second.
Don't do it.
I know they shouldn't, but wait a second. This is the same front office that already gave Zion 100 chances when I think most like normal fans or casual fans would have been out on him 2 years ago after he missed his second straight, whatever 50 game stretch. They clearly still sorry, not to get into a whole tangent. Point being, you hope the Trey Murphy's available, but I don't know that he will be. And at that point, then you start to think about like who are the rosters who are really going to be selling. It's going to be like the
Pacers.
Kings, the Pacers, maybe not though
just for
because
this season. I think next season they know they're going to be
but
bad.
it's like who are they? Why would you sell them? You have just keep the core together. This year's a lost year, you know that, but whatever. Just like wait for Tyrese to come back. I think the big teams are the Mavs. I think the Mavs are pretty much they've concluded like the
They
AD
should.
like the Nico era is done. We fired him. We can move on from all of his bullshit. Like all the bad juju we put on this team. Get rid of AD, get rid of Kyrie, and retool around Cooper Flag. So those like maybe you're talking about like Daniel Gafford, like not a
Max
major
Christie.
needle mover. Max Christie possibly again, not needle movers. The Kings 100%. There was a report came out today that said Kings are already as of today willing to do trades, willing to sell.
Okay.
So
I don't know how much they have to offer.
I don't want to even put this out there.
Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine is the $45 million man, so we can't trade for
I
him.
mean DeMar DeRozan.
That's what I was about to say. I don't even want to put this out there because I feel like the spacing between DeMar, Dre, and fucking
Jimmy.
would be so god awful that I just don't think it would be realistic.
Malik Monk.
But he is like DeMar would be.
Or Keegan. Bro, Keegan, I would
Keegan would be interesting.
I would love Keegan.
He would be. I think you'd have to
Why-
add a pick
why-
to get Kuminga for Keegan, but I would do it.
Is that the needle mover?
That's the thing. Is it really?
I love you.
Keegan's probably better than he's been out for a while, and the Kings have been so bad so relevant.
Strength, like
He's better than most
a
of the-
3-point shooter.
No, but he's
a 3-inch guy, right?
defender.
He's a 3-and-D
Some
guy, but
self-creation.
he flashes some self creation. He's not like he's not a Duncan Robinson type at all.
Is Duncan Robinson out of the league? Man?
No,
No,
on the
he's
Pistons,
just
and they're doing
starting on the
great.
Pistons, dude. He's killing it.
Wow.
They're like
Yeah,
15
Cade is like fifth in MVP voting or something. He's putting together a nice season, taking his second leap. So I don't know, and then I'm trying to think of other teams. You're talking about like what's
the
maybe the
Hornets.
Clippers are bottoming.
the Hornets, depending on LaMelo said it was
LaMelo.
fake news. LaMelo said it was fake news. I don't entirely believe him. I just think he's maybe trying to play some games.
Dude, give
Uh,
LaMelo to the Hornets.
Oh, I would kill for LaMelo. We're gonna be Kaminga, Pods, fucking Trace, QB, Moody, 5 first-round picks. Done. Consider it done.
I just really like that fit.
Yeah, because he's literally he could lead the second unit. Like that's him. That's all him.
No, you would start
LaMelo?
bro.
Yeah. He leads the second
LaMelo's
unit.
averaged like 25 and
No,
11
but I
in the
mean-
league, dog. He's
no,
not leading
but-
any second unit.
Hey, but that stuff can be fully off ball.
No, but what I mean is that like he's been leading.
Yeah.
He's like a single man army. That's what I mean.
It's like he could like him
So
and
he
Steph
could-
they could
exactly.
be on and off.
Yeah.
Before.
It's so nice.
But I think
Bro, we got like 3 guys making. Like, how
Like,
much is another making?
unfortunately I also think there's a lot of teams who could outbid us for him.
Yeah, and also knowing our luck, like he would just get injured or something.
Yeah, bro. Well, I mean,
Or his
knowing
shot
his
was a lot.
luck because he hasn't been able to stay on the fucking. That's part of why I think the Hornets might be willing to deal him. I was gonna say also Celtics.
I think they also know they're going to be.
They know it's a lost year, but they also still have some salary issues.
Jason Tatum.
Derek White's the guy that you could.
He's
having a down year.
Buy low.
I mean, which makes sense because obviously he's an off-ball guy. He's a third option type of guy, and he's playing without his first option. He's making a lot of money, but not so much that we couldn't afford him. They might be thinking, okay, Peyton Pritchard's looking like he's just about ready to supplant him for that role, anyways. Like, I would take Derek White. I'll say that. I don't know exactly. I don't know if that's technically a possible deal because obviously salaries and stuff is always weird. But
Yeah.
that's something to think about. There's as the season goes on, more potential deals will kind of take shape. But I think it's the important thing is that we've reached the point in the season where we're starting to fantasize about trades again. So
Yeah, and that's been a consistent theme
But
for
we're not in
us.
denial that we're contenders, right? Are we?
Mm,
I think we're like playoffs.
we're contenders for the chip.
Yeah.
What chip?
We're not in denial.
Doritos, dog? Sorry, that's like the worst joke of all time. It's the worst joke.
Wait, did you not see the plus 15.1
Oh
off
my
stat for
God.
Jimmy? That
These
isn't that?
guys are
that-
clowns.
Is that not what we're talking about?
I'm not, bro.
Is that not what we're talking about?
Ask the question. So are we still in belief that we're
What are we
I said we're
talking
not-
about?
I said we're not still in belief.
Make the right couple of deals.
God.
Make a few deals.
God.
I think this Trey Murphy makes
Doritos?
us like
Okay, you
playoff
trade.
team. I
Look,
think the Trey Murphy makes us a playoff team. We're gonna
Kaminga-
play in right now.
Kaminga Pods plus
With
pick
that
for
with
legit
that
third
high
option.
up.
Yeah, we're a play-in. We're like a 7th to 11th seed team right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
I would give us like a.
But okay, think about this. Kaminga Pods plus a pick for a legit third option. You're talking about a Derek White tier guy, and then scraps like Trace or whatever, whoever the fuck, and Geese Santos plus another pick for like
What about
legit-
Geese Santos?
like a legit 5th, 6th type of guy. I don't know. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, like a Max Christie type guy. There you go. That's a championship contender
no,
right there.
no, it's not. That's a 5th seed team.
Oh man,
That's a second.
these guys
solid
are
second-
lost.
Bro, so this is we're
think about-
bringing back a
Jimmy-
3 points podcast classic, the Cope episode.
Jimmy,
This is Cope episode
as
number.
long as Jimmy,
This is
Drake,
Cope episode
Steph-
number 1. This is Cope episode number 1. Future editor titled as Cope episode number 1. It's already begun.
As long
I
as
cannot believe this.
As long as Jimmy
We're
Jr. and
talking
Steph are
about
still in a
great-
trio,
This guy's
there's
delusional.
a recipe
You just-
for a contender.
This dude just brought up a delusional. He just brought Max Christie and Derek White to our team and said we're a contender.
Exactly. Would that team not be a contender?
No, it's like a Nuggets level team at best.
Wow. Welcome back.
Nuggets were like 12-4.
At best.
Oh my
And
God.
this-
One thing about
Second
contender, think
seed
about the
West.
Thunder. Thunder are like
Okay, well, wait a second.
The Thunder are like
Yeah.
horrifying.
Okay, well then nobody's a goddamn contender.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah, that's
But
the
I
point,
think there's
idiot.
tiers to the contenders. Like Thunder is like tier 1
Oh, if we could be
at best.
a Nuggets tier team, that's tier 2.
Bro, I was so flabbergasted. I made the world's worst dad joke of all time. Like, oh my God. This is
Man,
awful.
that's okay. You guys will come crawling back.
Yeah, as we have been the last 3 years.
When we made that trade for Jimmy, what happened?
Nothing happened. Nothing. Basically, nothing's happened. I get it. We got
became a
way
much
better.
team.
We became a significantly better for a portion, but right now we're back to where we were.
So all I'm saying is for like 2 straight years, Warriors fans were like, if we just trade for a second option, this team's gonna look a lot better. And then what happened? We traded for a second option.
We
The
did
team
look
looked
better.
a lot better.
We did.
And would have been, and I will stand by this, a legitimate finals contender. We could have taken the Thunder.
I don't think
Maybe-
so.
Definitely.
Maybe,
This
maybe,
Cope episode number 2.
maybe the 6 games.
This is Cope
Maybe the
episode.
6 games.
Go get new title. Cope
I think they would have beat us. But then guess what? The front office would have been, they would have had hope in the offseason. They would have had a revitalized sense of confidence, and they would have gone out and made another addition.
Cope episode 1.5.
They also
Not
wouldn't
one.
have fucking signed Kaminga. I still think we should. I know why we did it. I still think we should have just gotten somebody in free agency. Because at this point, we're looking at like, well, I mean, what's it going to be? It's going to be January 15th, and we're still 500, and then we're climbing, trying to make
It's
another
the
miracle
same thing
climb.
again, yeah.
I still like it doesn't sit right with me, but whatever. Like it's what happened.
The big offseason move was Horford. I guess that was the.
We can agree, right, that they need to at least try to ship out Kaminga and Pod
Kaminga Pods
and possibly
if-
Trace
I think
and
the disconnect is
possibly
just-
possibly
Kaminga-
Moody.
Bro, Kaminga Pods and whoever.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
only people who are untouchable on this roster are Steph, Dre, Jimmy.
I mean, Buddy is literally a negative asset, so you can't say like ship him off because you'd have to attach a pick.
Like, I'm not sad if he's gone.
Also, speaking of, sorry, this is now getting to be an insanely long episode because we got into a little. How about speaking of potential trade candidates? How about Klay Thompson on the Mavericks? They're
How
trying to blow it
How
up
much he's making?
like 16
Are
million.
you joking? Or are you?
Why not?
Oh my
We
God.
need spacing.
We make our point of attack defense even worse. We have like no point of attack defense.
Jimmy and Klay Thompson would be an elite pairing. Jimmy loves to kick out the shooters. That's his whole game.
Okay. How has his 3-point percentage been?
He had an awful start of the season, and he's been phenomenal since then.
Phenomenal. Let's see
I
what.
mean, I think you
phenomenal
got
means.
when you make a trade, you have to think about what is it addressing. Like Derek White addresses our point of attack defense.
Yeah, what
Trey
is it?
Murphy does.
Klay Thompson, we're a tier
We already
worse.
have a shot chucker. We got Buddy. That's our.
We got Buddy. We got Buddy before Buddy.
Yeah, we had
He's
him.
gone from averaging like 19% over the first month to he's now averaging like 42% over the last month.
It's like
to-
balancing out
for
to
a
like
total
30.
of 32. Yeah.
So
Below average, very average shooting for very bad. defense.
okay, in a
telling
suboptimal
you-
offensive situation, I'll give him that.
Yes,
That's
in a
fair
horrible
percentage.
offensive situation. They don't have anybody. They're obviously being run by D'Lo.
Cooper Flag is basically the
No,
first
not
option.
even D'Lo,
18.
Isn't it Jaden Hardy? Or no, what's his
No,
name?
it's literally D'Lo.
I thought they switched to not Jaden Hardy though, a different guy, but it was D'Lo.
Literally 18-year-old Cooper Flag is their first option, and not that he hasn't been playing well, but like still,
It's hard
he's
for him.
18-year-old. Yeah,
It's hard for everyone there.
he's in an awful situation. Anyways, I'm just saying.
Like they're like, all right.
I'm just saying, man. Maybe like you could
What about
package.
AD?
You could package like Buddy and Horford salad too much.
He's making
You think like 50-something million. We just don't.
dumbass. Otherwise,
Yeah.
that would have been the
Unless you wanted to flip Jimmy.
No.
I think that's kind of just like
Oh no. Because then
That's
our offense is.
that's sort of just shuffling deck chairs on the Titanic. Plus, AD literally cannot stay on the fucking court.
Oh yeah, true.
AD is going to be a guy who the team who trades for him better have a contingency plan. Because especially now that he's like 33 and it's yet another year of basically being MIA, like can you really count on him to be out there in the playoffs?
Ja Morant. He's making too much money. No.
Probably he is, and also like he doesn't really fit. I mean, like, also, dude, him and fucking Draymond would strangle each other.
No, but or the opposite. They would be like the most annoying duo. You know, it's kind of like
Hyping each other up.
Exactly. Like you'd be doing a gun sign, and Draymond would be like,
You're the truth. No, you're the truth. Did you guys see the Ja Clay
Yeah, and
beef?
Clay,
Yeah.
and Clay like
Clay-
the most polite, literally the most polite.
That's the kind of veteran presence we need on the Warriors roster.
What do you do?
Yeah. GP2 veteran presence, Steph veteran presence,
Buddy,
Dre veteran,
Buddy,
Buddy veteran presence. Put CP3 on the roster, might as well, right? We want that veteran presence.
I mean,
It's up to Kerr.
I
Anyways,
think the disconnect is just where a trade puts us. Like being a trade catapults us into.
I think catapults us a second round.
Yeah,
Maybe Western Conference.
yeah, maybe I
Before
think
the
we should-
Thunder collapse.
Yeah, we'd have to avoid them on the way there.
Yeah, if they maybe like their plane crashed or something and they were like not
Ooh.
playing.
by the way, speaking of Klay Thompson, I just would like you guys to watch this clip. To any Warriors fans, I'm sure it looks very, very familiar. Just wait. There's the man himself. Brick. That's per game, by the way.
Oh my god. Against who? Who's
With
it?
him, that's Clay.
No, against who though? Like,
Against
With him fumbling the ball.
fumbling the ball and immediately getting up and just. It's like he reset. He's like, "Oh shit, I better shoot." It was against the Grizzlies. That's the guess, and then he had the beef with Ja.
Oh, so he freaking.
Yeah, I know.
Oh
That's why he
my-
said you a bum now. I mean, I know literally pot calling Kyle Black, right? But like, come on. Anyways, yeah, I think I kind of derailed this by mentioning Clay, but
Yeah, so make sure future editor title this Cope episode 1.5, not 1.5.
yeah, man. So basically, point being, we all know Warriors fans. We all know where we are. Like, we need to trade or something. Team as mid as it is. Basically, everybody who's not named Draymond, Steph, or Jimmy is borderline unplayable, etc.
QP, keep QP though.
Yeah, shout out QP.
And Moody
Yeah.
slightly better.
Yeah.
And hopefully, Horford will come out of his cold stretch. Fingers crossed. Thanks, guys.